So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Cameron Jordan, truly the heart and soul of this Saints defense, had another memorable year in 2021. He crossed 100 sacks and made his 5th straight Pro Bowl.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at the 34. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A 1st carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Jameis now on 1st down. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
Winston now from the 50.
Throw left side complete to Troutman. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Flush to his right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect. They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Eluding the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick slant, that's caught by the 5'11 Landry. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now Cook hit and he lost the football.
And this is picked up by the Saints. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Cousins now to throw on first down.
He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Back to the ground. Cook. Room here to run. Touchdown, Vikings.
Dalvin Cook, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are back within a score. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1st down, here's the run with Cook.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goal.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing, Cousins.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Looking long for Thomas. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. 36 yards on the play.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
From the red zone now, Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run with Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd down and goal. Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. I think you would agree, just a good decision right there. Goes for the safe play, gets some yardage out of it.
And showed some toughness as well. As you noted, he stayed right in there. Saw the rush was coming, hung in there, took the hit, dumped it out to the outside, and now they pick up some yardage, and you have the back that's grateful to you and will continue to make plays. Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Deshaun Jackson, 49 yards.
And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip...
And the third interception thrown by Cousins.
A.J. Bull. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
56. Off the play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. Cook up the gut. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Cousins now. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's got some space here. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. On play action, Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Winston's throw taken in by Landry. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Escaping the pressure right. And Winston lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On second down, Kamara. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Winston to the sideline here on fourth down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On second and a yard, Cousins. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on third and a yard.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 36 now, first and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Play action now, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
135 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A run for Kamara on first down, but the running room closes up quickly as he's only able to get a yard there. 2nd and 9 from the 44.
The handoff right side, it's Washington.
And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Play fake. Winston.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Saints will have the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
This offense so far on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Play fake. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against